Alright, greetings everybody. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're all enjoying your day. And I hope you're having yourselves a nice summer. Because I said today was such a nice day, I said fuck it, I'm going to come down to the beach and take in some of the lovely scenery we have around here. And really enjoying myself. It's a beautiful summery day here in July. You might be asking, why is there nobody about? Well, that's because I'm down in the section of the beach where nobody else comes, because as you can see, it's pretty rocky around here. But that's why I'm here. We got a little caravan park over there at the end. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. So I just got this new phone which allows me to do all sorts of shit. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm just testing this out, and I said it's also a good point then to make a video about well, today I'm going to talk about confidence. I've just got a spectator, so I might just deviate this for a second, but that's okay, I don't mind. But yeah, so today's topic really is going to be about confidence. Yeah, that lady over there is just on the phone, it's okay. But I can come and take a walk, it doesn't bother me. So what I've got today really here for all you guys is a video about confidence in MGTOW, and how when you make a decision, you know, to live your life this way and just have nobody else in your life, only yourself, in relation to relationships and things like that. Of course, certainly have your good friends, that's non-negotiable, and otherwise you'll just go nuts, and that's just not healthy for anybody. And I or nobody else would recommend that. That's silly advice. But in relation to your relationships, just simply don't have one. It's just that simple, and that's what we're all about here. And I think a large part of that is to do with having the confidence to understand that you are more than you'll ever know, and you're more than you'll ever need. And frankly, you already have all the tools necessary in your arsenal to pull this off. Because as everyone knows, this isn't easy, and it by no means is for everybody. As a matter of fact, it's for the minority. And as it happens, for most people who find MGTOW, it's not even a question of. It's not even for most of those people either. A lot of people just stumble across, you know, because of stupid YouTube phrasing and labels and all this fucking tagging bullshit that goes on online and all that stuff and all that shit. So there's good and bad to everything, but in relation to technology. But a lot of idiots are going to find this. Most people who find MGTOW are idiots, and it's actually not for them. And that's been well demonstrated throughout the years about people coming and going from various chats and group discussions that we have. But whatever about that. I'm alone again, so I'm happy about that, at least from what I'm aware of. But I don't know. You see, this camera's pretty good. It's a 13 megapixel. I'm not too sure if you can see the real detail of the far distance in the background. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not editing this either. I couldn't be bothered. That's not the type of content producer I'm going to be. And I'm purely interested in what people have to say rather than their editing skills. But I just couldn't help myself. I said I had this building up inside me the last 3 or 4 days, and I said, fuck it, the weather's fantastic, I'm going to go down here and make a little video, because it's absolutely, the scenery is just fantastic. And what's more, there's nobody around, which is just my idea of bliss, frankly. I love it, absolutely love it. I'm going to go for a run now later on, a nice 10k, going to enjoy that. Got a race coming up next month, and I'm going to be training hard for that. And yeah, it's good. Life is good, man. But getting back on topic, I really want to address this issue, because I think it's absolutely fundamental for just about everybody who decides to go their own way, as this whole notion of having confidence. And you know, I needn't make this deviation. Everybody who's listening, I think, or anybody who knows my channel, and you know, you're all pretty smart guys. I don't need to be, you know, making the distinctions. I mean, you know, you needn't read between the lines. You know, it's not to be confused with arrogance or anything like that. It's just having that, like I say, I don't even think, you know, like synonyms are needed. It's just, that's the correct word in this case. It is confidence, and having that confidence to be absolutely certain in your decision and that it is the right one. And then as the years go on, it'll become very, very apparent as to why this is the correct decision for you to take. It really is. And there's just not much more to it than just understanding the confidence and being, just following through and just pulling the fucking trigger and being sure that the decision that you've made is the correct one. It's the only rational one in the world that we currently live in. It's just that simple. It really is. There's not much more to it. It's so ridiculously obvious if you're in any way, rational with your way of looking at the world. It's so obvious that this is the only solution we have left. If you want a sane life, that is. And of course, I understand that most people simply don't want that. They're just pussy beggars. That's all they are, and they just can't understand that ultimately this is the decision you need to make in a society that's just so anti-male. It makes no sense whatsoever. So it makes no sense. What I'm saying is, it makes no sense to throw yourself into relationships that are ultimately just going to end up on the rocks, quite literally. So that's essential. But yeah, I mean, it's just having that confidence to understand that you haven't made a bad choice. It's not the case of going back, because as far as I'm concerned, when you make a decision like this, there is no going back. And I think as the years go by, you'll realise that more and more, now there definitely is no way in going back. I mean, it's a very well-known concept within the red pill. Anybody who understands vaguely the red pill, although I don't like that particular term because I think it can be, it's not particularly helpful when we're discussing, the MGTOW monks, because that's what we are, on this side of the internet anyway. That's who we are, or at least that's who I'm addressing, and that's certainly who I am, and that's who I strive. Well, yeah, that's certainly who I strive to become. I had a bit of a hiccup recently, but I've recovered and I understand that now this is definitely the right decision for me, because ultimately you get nothing out of it ultimately. I mean, there's no net benefit really, and that's just the way it is. It's a hard thing to understand, particularly when you're a younger person, particularly. But ultimately, there is no possible way that relationships can work, period. And I think it's a matter of just getting beyond it and just getting over the fact that relationships are not going to work. You might think it's a devastating and a catastrophic conclusion that you have to come to, and in some cases, or rather I should say, a lot of people would think that it's a very extreme view and it's a very cynical view, and all these thoughts are normal. All these thoughts are, if you're having them continuously, you definitely need to entertain them. There's no doubt about that, because it is a question that's definitely worth addressing for sure. But as I say, once you keep working at your MGTOW, you'll understand why it's working for you. And there's a big, you have to play devil's. At least I do anyway. I mean, some people they latch on to anything and they just go with it. I can tell you almost categorically, as far as I'm concerned, this isn't the case. And if you play devil's advocate with MGTOW, you'll come across that. You'll understand very soon that in every possible way, your argument will come out victorious, because ultimately there's a part of, I'm interested in theoretical stuff and philosophical debates and things like that, but ultimately, I think MGTOW is a practical philosophy for living your life, and I think anything other than that, you're sort of wasting your time, because if something isn't not going to help you in your life, then what's the fucking point? If it's not going to help you achieve what you want to achieve in your life, and it's, ultimately it's this recategorization of your priorities. That's what MGTOW is. And frankly, you just have to understand what you really want out of your life, out of your very short, finite life, mind you, and run with that. And I can tell you, absolutely, no doubt about it, women are not going to help you achieve that. They're just not. It's just not going to happen for you. They're not what you think they are. They're an illusion. They're a fucking illusion. They let you down every time. There's just no possible way in which they can work. Ooh, an eel. Look at this eel. Oh, he's gone. Oh, man. Yeah. I could take him out of the rock, but I don't want to disturb him. Come on, eel. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's gone. Oh, it's probably for the best. It's really strange that you come down to the seaside. And I don't live too far away from the seaside, but you come down to the rocks here and you see all sorts of different insects and slugs and all sorts of creatures. They're interesting. They're very interesting. I like looking at them. But yeah, it's like I say. It's the recategorization of your priorities and understanding that women are not going to help you in any respect. And frankly, you need to get over that and understand that that's just the way it is. There's no. In one respect, I think no matter what you do, you're going to be restricted in your life, but at least be restricted in the way that's going to help you most, and I believe that MGTOW will help you do that. And I've got company again now. This is really fucking inconvenient, but there you go. But yeah, so like I said, the main topic here. Okay, he's going back, good. So like I said, the main point here is having that confidence to understand that you're making the right choice, and the choice that is right for you, and the choice that's going to help you exceed in your life and really work at it. Because this isn't easy stuff. This is difficult, and it'll take you years. But I've been in this thing now I've been working on this subject matter within myself for about 16, 17, yeah, I mean, at least a year and a half. And really working hard the last 6 months and trying to understand exactly as to why this is the right choice for me. And ultimately, there's only one real test is just going out and living your life, and just, like knocking off that computer and going out and doing your day's business, going to work, coming back, doing your hobbies, seeing the money build up, seeing your hobbies getting better, seeing you getting more skilled at it, keeping in contact with your friends and family if you're lucky enough to have those, which, I think most of us are, in some respect, and just really understanding how that's going to benefit you long term. And think about it I know it's the standard question, isn't it? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? But it is very true, and you have to ask yourself these questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? If you go and put a bitch in it. Or if you don't, if you stay on your own, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I can almost guarantee you that if you're the type of person who's going to be going MGTOW, because those who generally go MGTOW, generally speaking, their personality is sort of aligned with an lone wolf sort of a mentality, which is certainly something you'd also want to consider when you've found MGTOW. And that's another reason why most people who find this, simply it just doesn't suit them, because they just got to put that bitch in it. There's no other way of saying it. But the thing is, if you can just sort it out, and sort yourself out, it's gonna do you wonders. I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna have a little look at the sea, because I'm by the rocks and I'm a little bit fucking paranoid. And there's another guy now about 20 meters away from me, and there you go. He's just coming up now. Now it's a bit fucking wet, but I'm gonna traverse it anyway. It's lovely out here, it really is. It's a little bit mossy and stuff, but I fucking don't care. I love it out here. Really should make it my new thing. But what you'll find is, if you just have that confidence to understand that you just don't need to fucking put a bitch in it, as Trav says. You really just don't. And as the years go on, you'll see why this is going to benefit you more and more, and why you've made the right choice. And ultimately, when all is said and done, and when you've done that and you analyse your performance over the next couple of years, you'll understand that your day will come. And we have an expression for that in Ireland. It's called Chucky Arla. Our day will come. And definitely you'll see. As ultimately, when you go MGTOW, you realise that you've already won. But it is one of those things that you'll need to verify for yourself. But when you've done that, and you've lived it, you'll understand that this is the only solution. It's the only way in which you could possibly live your life. Because any other way, as far as I'm concerned, as far as any other rational person is concerned, you're completely wasting your time. Completely wasting your fucking time. And I think that's all I've got to say. I think that's about it, guys. That's all I've got to say. I don't generally script these, but I've got to do it today. ultimately. I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's just not being afraid to commit and taking that next step and pulling the plug to our own destruction. Because you gotta remember that you are enough. And if you stick with this, your life will come right for you. I can guarantee you guys, it's undoubtedly the best decision you'll ever make. So take your power back, man, and go make TOW. Don't delude yourself. Reward yourself. Thanks, guys.